Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. Tonight we are going to be making zucchini and chicken thighs and mushrooms. So this is a good new recipe that I just made up, and so we're getting started. I already have half of my chicken cooked because I'm making a big batch tonight. So I'll show you my second batch. I'm just getting some avocado oil heated up here for all of our chicken and our vegetables. Now the chicken we used big sizzle. So for the chicken we use chicken thighs because they're going to stay juicier for us than like a chicken breast would. You can also do shrimp with this. But flavor-wise, Nathan and I both kind of preferred the chicken, so that's why I'm showing you chicken. So this is just going in a real hot pan. I already have it cubed up, and it's got salt, pepper, and garlic powder on it. So we're just gonna kind of watch that and let that cook. And in our second pan over here, we are going to start cooking our zucchini. So the zucchini is in half moon shapes. You can really do whatever shape you want, but this I find to be a good bite size. So I'm gonna put all of it in here. This is 4 large zucchinis that we have cut up. And we're just gonna watch this as well and let that cook. So we'll let those things do what they're doing. And meanwhile, we will make our sauce. So for the sauce tonight, it's actually pretty simple. You just have to beat up a can of ginger paste. So this is ginger paste, minced ginger. You can also just get a ginger root and like grate it, but I don't like grating ginger, so I prefer to use this if possible. And newly unopened amino acids. This I've talked about before, but basically it's like a soy sauce substitute, and hoisin sauce, which I love. Now unfortunately, as is normally the case with me, I don't actually have measurements for you on how much, because I just kind of put everything in a bowl until it smells right and then go from there. My zucchini's sizzling, so that's why I'm stepping away for a minute. So, last time I used about 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. I'm doing a double batch tonight, so it's gonna be more like 1/4 cup. That might be a little bit more than 1/4 cup. Whoops. And some amino acids. The amino acids, what I put in here was probably about half of the hoisin sauce, but I am, just by the texture of it, gonna add a little bit more. Also, I did not have this prepped, but I am going to be adding in some garlic as well, some fresh garlic. So if you had like a jar of minced garlic, you could use that as well. And we're going to do about that much ginger. It's probably like 3 teaspoons. And that smells about right. So once I get some garlic chopped up in here, then our sauce will be ready to go. Now we still have to finish cooking up our chicken. Once I've got the chicken and the zucchini to the point that it needs to be, I'll have you come back. We'll add in the mushrooms, we'll add in the sauce, we'll put everything together. All right guys, welcome back. So I have 4 to 5 garlic cloves, depending on the size, chopped up in here. I did a rough chop on them, so they're not very fine, but you can definitely do them smaller if you wanted to. Now take a look at the zucchini, because I want you to see when we're going to add the mushrooms, which is now. But see, the zucchini isn't really where you would want to eat it right now. It's still a little bit on the hard undercooked side, but it has cooked down some. So by the time we add our mushrooms in here and get them cooked down to the almost said temperature, to the texture that we want, then the zucchini should be good. So we're adding in our mushrooms. Like I said, this is a double batch, so it looks a little bit crazy big right now. But once the mushrooms let out some of their water, that's going to go down a bit. Now what I'm going to do at this point is to actually go ahead and add in a little bit of chicken broth. So just about a 1/4 cup of chicken broth in there, just to help make sure nothing's burning. Now technically mushrooms are pretty hard to burn, but it will help them to cook down a little bit quicker, a little bit more even. And I'm not really going for like a crispy mushroom here. I want a bite of mushroom. I did forget to show you how we cut the mushrooms. It was just a real rough chop. So like if they were small, I just cut them in half, and if they were bigger, just like in thirds, so that they're nice and thick and you actually get a good bite of mushroom. Now our chicken is pretty much done here in this pan. So we're just gonna add the other half of the chicken that I cooked earlier, just to warm everything through together. And then once this is at the stage where we're gonna go ahead and add the sauce and add everything in, then we'll bring you back so you can see the finished product. One thing I forgot to mention, tonight I'll be serving this over brown rice, which I did cook in the Instant Pot. There's tons of tutorials out there about how to cook rice in the Instant Pot, so you can definitely check one of those out. Or you can just eat this without a starch, but it does go really nicely with the rice. So see you in a few minutes. All right guys, welcome back. So we are pretty much good to go. Come on and take a look at our veggies here. So the zucchini, there's still some pieces that are a little bit firmer, but I actually like that. And then you can see there are some that are a little bit more limp and cooked through. So that is pretty much good. Now our chicken's sizzling away nicely here. Because this has less liquid overall, this is where we're gonna put our sauce before we combine them completely together. So we're just gonna put our sauce over top. Give that a real good mix. Now the chicken broth in here is gonna help thin this sauce out a little bit to make sure that we actually get the entire dish sauced without over saucing and making it too salty. But getting it on one of the components first is helpful when you're making a big batch like this, so that you don't have parts that are under sauced. So hopefully that made sense. Now you could just plate it like this if you wanted to, rice and then your veg and then your chicken. I kind of like it all mixed in together, especially because the vegetables don't have a whole lot of flavor on their own. So I'm just going to pour this over top. Hope that I have enough room in this pan, which is the biggest pan that I've got. So hopefully there's enough room. And just mix everything together. Look how good that looks, guys.
It smells even better.
And honestly, if I had let the sauce cook on there a little bit longer, it would smell even better because of that fresh garlic in there. So that is that. And then we've got our rice in here. I can't talk. So we're just gonna get out some of our rice. There we go. And some of our chicken. And when you're putting your chicken and zucchini on the plate, Make sure that you get a little bit of this sauce on there too. But there you go, guys. Super easy, really delicious. Enjoy.